There is a global tariff, there is a tariff threat, there is a penal tariff in India. What is she doing about it? Why has she not even mentioned it in the budget? You must take larger steps, more aggressive steps, more bold steps to contain fiscal deficit. India seems to have allocated more money for defense. I don't agree. I don't disagree. But as a proportion of GDP and as a proportion of total expenditure, it is less than what it was in 2013-14. I have no objection to announcing long-term projects. Tell us the financing, what is the outlay, and when it will be completed. I welcome long-term announcements, but that is not going to give you results this year or next year.
The government has increased capital expenditure by 9% along with the 7 high-speed rail corridors. Does this meet corporate and infrastructure sector expectations, sir?
I don't know what numbers you're talking about, capital expenditure. In 2025-26, capital expenditure was cut by, underline my word, was cut by rupees 1,44,376 crore. Of this, the centre's capital expenditure was cut by 25,335 crore, and the state's capital expenditure was cut by 1,19,041 crore. The total is 1,44,376 crore, and that is there in capital account at the budget at a glance. Therefore, you must explain why capital expenditure was cut in 25-26. I'm not against outlaying more capital expenditure in 26-27. In fact, in 26-27, I'll give you the number. They have outlaid 12,21,821. But you must explain why last year's capital expenditure was cut by 1,44,376.
Sir, what is your assessment on the announcement of rare earth corridors in Odisha, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Semicon Mission 2.0 and next 40 days?
These are long-term projects. I have no objection to announcing long-term projects. Tell us the financing, what is the outlay, and when it will be completed. I welcome long-term announcements. But that is not going to give you results this year or next year. These are long-term projects. For example, the what is that called? The Bombay Ahmedabad high-speed train. It's going on for the last 8 years.
Sir, with the financial year 26 fiscal deficit percent of GDP and the financial year 27 target at 4.3, how do you view the government fiscal consolidation roadmap, sir?
That is not enough at all. Let me explain. In 25-26, the budget estimate was 4.4 and the revised estimate is 4.4. In 26-27, it will fall by 0.1%. The target is 3%. Under the FRBM target, the target is 3%. At the rate of 0.1% a year, it will take 13 years. Therefore, this is not adequate fiscal consolidation. You must take larger steps, more aggressive steps, more bold steps to contain fiscal deficit. The revenue deficit is equally important. In fact, Dr. Rangarajan, in a column 10 days ago, the former governor of RBI, 10 days ago said, revenue deficit is as important as fiscal deficit, which means revenue deficit means you're borrowing for revenue expenditure. The revenue deficit for the 25-26 was 1.5 and 26-27 is also 1.5. Where is the compression in revenue deficit? Therefore, I'm not satisfied with the fiscal consolidation, the pace of fiscal consolidation.
Sir, especially when global war is happening and US, do you, in your view, what more could have been done in this budget to further strengthen growth, job?
I am not presenting the budget. So you should ask this question to the Honorable Finance Minister. There is a global tariff. There is a tariff threat. There is a penal tariff in India. What is she doing about it? Why has she not even mentioned it in the budget? Is there nowhere in the budget speech, subject to correction, have they mentioned the penal tariffs imposed by the United States, the growing trade deficit, especially with China, the low gross fixed capital formation, and the reluctance of the private sector to invest in India, the uncertain outlook for flow of FDI, and the persistent outflow of portfolio investment. These are questions which should be addressed in the budget. I'm not saying the answer will be right or wrong, but you must attempt to address these issues. These are the issues which concern the country. These are the issues which concern the economists. These are the issues which concern investors. Therefore, these concerns must be addressed. After you address them, we can weigh the merits or demerits of your answer. But you don't even address them. What do I say?
Sir, once Rahul Gandhi says India is a dead economy, he also attacked.
Nothing to do with the budget. Don't rake up old statements in a different context. Let's talk about the budget.
Would you like to challenge Nirmala Sitharaman after this budget for the debate, sir?
What debate? I am debating with you. Debate is happening in all over India. Debate is happening all over India. Suppose, the finance minister mentioned that inflation is very low. You think people in villages and towns are not talking about it? You ask yourself, what is your grocery bill 6 months ago and today? What is your electricity bill? What is your education bill? What is your healthcare bill? What is your transport bill? Is it inflated only by 0.9% or 1%? This debate is happening all over India. You think people who debate on television alone are debating? People are debating it in houses, in fairs, in markets. People are debating it in villages.
India high defense budget. Are you happy with the government?
India has not hiked the defense budget. I'll tell you. India seems to have allocated more money for defense. I don't agree. I don't disagree. But as a proportion of GDP and as a proportion of total expenditure, it is less than what it was in 2013-14. For example, in 2013-14, according to the numbers that I have, the defense expenditure as a percentage of GDP was as high as 2.3% in 2013-14. This year, it is 1.9%. as a proportion of total expenditure, it was as high as 16%, close to 16% in 2013-14. Today, it is 14.5%. So the quantity may be more, but as a proportion of GDP and a proportion of total expenditure, you look at the figures.
What key issues was missing in today's budget, sir?
Several issues were missing. I narrated some of them. Unemployment situation is precarious. Youth unemployment is somewhere between 15 and 20%. What has the budget said about creating jobs for youth? And youth means not only graduates. Youth means people who have completed school. People who have completed only 8th standard or 10th standard. People who have dropped out even in the 5th standard. This is a peculiar problem in India. We have to provide for different levels of education for our youth. What are the jobs created? Where are the MSMEs reviving? MSMEs are the greatest employment provider in India. It's some kind of employment. It's not regular employment. It is not the perfect employment. It is some kind of employment. But where are the MSMEs reviving? How many MSMEs were closed after devaluation, after demonetization, and after COVID? You give the numbers, how many MSMEs were closed, and how many MSMEs were revived, how many jobs were revived. No numbers are given. But yet you claim we are in a Goldilocks economy.
One last question, sir. As Trump claiming that India will buy oil from Venezuela, do you believe that it will also affect our economy, sir?
I don't know. I don't know the implications. I don't know what understanding has been arrived between India and the United States. We should buy oil wherever it's available. I agree, whether it's Russia or Venezuela or whatever. But our oil purchases from Russia dropped sharply because of the US threat. Now, if we can buy oil from Venezuela at a reasonable price, why not? But I don't know what complications will arise. I don't know. It's only the Foreign Ministry and the Prime Minister's office will know whether there are any complications in buying oil from Venezuela.